Many years ago, in a humble but dirty cottage deep in the forest, there lived a dirty but humble mud maker. He labored from sunup to sundown making mud, but was very poor, for then, as now, there weren't many people in the market for mud. When his day was done, he left the mud puddle and returned to the cottage where his wife always met him at the door with a hot meal.
Why must you always throw my dinner at me, dearest? Why cannot we sit and quietly sup like other folk?
Because, good husband, I am unhappy.
How can that be? You've got a fine muddy house, fine muddy food, and fine muddy me.
True, but we have no son to keep me company, and I am lonesome.
So saying, she served dessert and shuffled off to bed. This set the old mud maker to wondering, and he thought to himself,
being a mud maker is bad enough, but being a mud maker with an unhappy wife is too much. I must do something.
Early the next morning, he awoke and quietly stole from the house. Crossing through the woods, he finally came to a tiny house made of cheese, where it was said a good fairy lived.
Well, what do you want, you muddy little old man?
Are you the good fairy?
Of course I'm the good fairy. Why ask a stupid question like that?
Well, it's a little hard to tell.
I suppose you want a favor.
Yes, you see, my wife is unhappy.
Big deal.
But if we could have a son to keep her company...
Okay, I get the picture. With a tap of my wand, I grant your wish.
When his head cleared, the old man thanked the good fairy.
Thanks, I think.
And staggered home as fast as he could.
You'll never guess what happened while you were away.
The house burned down.
No, I found a baby boy on the doorstep.
Hooray, it worked. Where is he?
I put him to Thimble.
You mean you put him to bed?
No, I put him to Thimble. Look.
See.
And there, on the table, inside a thimble, slept the tiny son.
But he's so little.
Yes, but he's all ours, and he will grow.
30 years later.
But he's so little.
Why don't you go back to the good fairy and see if she'll give you something to make him grow?
Sure, I can make him grow. Take this magic chickpea and put it under his bed.
Thimble.
Put it under his thimble, then.
The mud maker followed the good fairy's instructions to a P, and sure enough, within 24 hours...
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. Down there.
Good heavens, he's 7 feet tall.
And so is his stomach.
So they called him Thom, and needless to say, the boy lived up to his name.
More food. I'm hungry, hungry, hungry. Eat. Oh, keep it coming, Mama, honey.
It wasn't long before Thom had eaten all there was in the house. Then he set off through the woods, gobbling up everything in his path.
Good grief, I better get back to the good fairy and see what she can do about this.
But when he found us...
Say, good fairy, Hey, what happened to your little house made of cheese?
Oh, some big fat kid ate it and then ran off down the road yelling, food, food!
That's what I wanted to ask you about.
If I ever find out who that brat's father is, I'll turn him into a toad. What was it you wanted to ask me?
You think it'll rain?
No.
Me either. See ya.
Now, it so happened that this was the king's birthday, and among the many fine presents he received was a beautiful fat duck.
Perhaps it is an enchanted duck, Your Highness.
You mean if I kiss it, it'll turn into a keen princess?
Could be, but I was thinking more like maybe it lays golden eggs.
They weren't golden, but they most certainly were eggs. The duck laid eggs by the dozens, the hundreds, the thousands. It seemed as though the duck would never stop, which she didn't. And before long, the castle was filled to overflowing with eggs. Desperate, the king sent out a proclamation.
Hear ye, hear ye! The king offers 1,000 Pazuzu reward to anyone who can rid the castle of eggs!
Hearing this gave the old mud maker an answer to his problem, and he hurried to the king.
You say that you'll give me your boy, Thom, and he'll get rid of the eggs.
Yes, sir, sire.
Good, then here's your money. Now give me the boy.
Okay, dear, turn him loose.
Thom ate like he never had before. Eggs disappeared as if by magic. He ate them scrambled, fried, boiled, raw. Then he ate the duck. Tables vanished, chairs were missing, huge holes were chewed in the walls.
Oh, we're lost!
And calling for his fastest horse, the king sped to the cottage of the mud maker.
You've got to take him back, or we'll all starve.
I couldn't be an Indian giver, sire.
Oh, humor me. I'm the king.
Sorry.
Well, take him back, and I'll give you a kingdom of your very own.
We'll take it.
Dearest, what can you be thinking?
There, Wallace, I have a plan.
And so it was settled. Thom was returned to the old mud maker, and he in turn was given a kingdom in a far-off land. His wife solved their problem of Thom by feeding him mud pies, which, as we all know, to kill anyone's appetite. And to make certain that they would never be troubled again, no food was allowed in the kingdom. The people were always famished. So the tiny country was called Hungary, and they all lived happily ever after. Bye.